using the preparation H.
Hey Gladys, that's about the 11th or 12th time you've told me that story. There's just some things you don't need to tell me.
Well, anyway, did I ever tell you about the Thanksgiving I had a few years ago?
You may have.
Well, it was a few years ago on Thanksgiving in the town of Stockbridge, Massachusetts. And me and my friend and I, we went up to see Alice at the restaurant called Alice's Restaurant. But that's not the name of the restaurant, that's just what we called it. She didn't live in the restaurant, she lived in a church nearby the restaurant. And they lived in this old church, and they lived up in the bell tower, and where the pews used to be, and they filled it up with garbage because they didn't think they had to take the garbage out for a long time. So we went up there and had Thanksgiving dinner with Alice and her husband Ray, and we thought it'd be a friendly gesture to take the garbage out for them. So we loaded the garbage up into the back of a VW microbus and drove to the city dump, but the dump was closed on Thanksgiving, so we drove to the side of the cliff, threw the garbage off. And to make a long story short, we got arrested for littering, and that's what kept me from being drafted into the Vietnam War.
That's Alice's Restaurant. Yeah, that's a song by Arlo, Guthrie. It's a pretty old song.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you're right. Well, anyway, did I ever tell you about the time I had to work on a Saturday?
I don't think so. It's not ringing a bell.
Well, anyway, Saturday morning I get a call from my boss that he wanted me to fill in for him at the Quick Stop because he had to go do something that morning, and I told him I'm not supposed to be coming in today. I'm supposed to be off today because I got talking to you. And I said, you better promise me you're going to be in by noon. He said, okay, I promise you. Well, anyway, he wasn't there by noon. Turned out he skipped town and went to another state entirely. So we played hockey up on the roof, and then I found out my girlfriend sucked 37 dicks.
That's a movie, ain't Gladys? That's Clerks by Kevin Smith.
There was this other time where I was called on to train a promising youth, and he came to my house, came all the way to my house to find me out to learn what I could tell him. But he decided he had learned enough and he was going to leave, and I told him he was not ready to fight Darth Vader, but he went to fight Darth Vader anyway because he had to do it for his friends, and he ended up getting his hand chopped off, and then he said, I'm sorry, I'm coming back. I said, well, it's too late, I'm 900 years old and I'm about to die.
That's definitely Star Wars.
Well, anyway, a few years back, we was out in, me and a buddy of mine, we was out in the woods, and there was a guy out there with a shotgun looking for us, and he found us. And I told him, it's not rabbit season, it's duck season. My friend said, it's rabbit season, it's not duck season. That went on for a little while, and I said, it's rabbit season. He said, it's duck season. And I said, it's rabbit season. He said, it's duck season. Fire, and he got shot right in the face, point blank range with a shotgun. That's a true story.
That's Looney Tunes.
I swear to God, it's a true story. You know I've been playing bass for over 40 years.
Really?
Yeah, I even played bass for Foghat at one point.
Wait a minute. A while back we played a game, and I mentioned that I thought you had played an instrument.
Yeah.
And you said you played the Jew harp.
Well, I played the Jew. The Jew harp's more of a hobby, but my true calling is the bass guitar. And I even sing in a death metal band, but I can't right now because I got this here cold. But anyway, back before they had the death metal, I used to live in Los Angeles. I used to hang out with all the rock and roll bands that came through that. And I used to be real good friends with Tony Stevens, you know, who played for Foghat. And there was this one time he came over to the house, he said, I can't hold it anymore, Gladys. I said, you're going to have to. And he just ejaculated right all over everything, just made a damn mess. I said, now that's going to cost you extra. But anyway, there was this one night where Foghat was supposed to play in L.A., and Tony Stevens called me up, and he said, Gladys, I can't come, I'm getting a plaster cast made. And there was this woman back in the day named Cynthia Plaster Cast, and she made these plaster casts of rock and rollers' dicks, you know, and she kept them She kept them on display in a house and all that. I went to them one time. I said, make the plastic cast this. She said, that's not the penis. And I said, well, you ain't not, so get your stuff out. Well, anyway, Foghat called me up and said, Tony can't make it tonight. He's having a wang effigy made. He said, would you come and fill in for us at this show? So I went up. I got my Fender jazz bass, and I played on stage for Foghat. Nobody noticed the difference because nobody pays attention to the bass player unless they you know that. Unless somebody like Cliff Button, Steve Harris, Geddy Lee. Geddy Lee's got that nice high-pitched squeaky voice, so people have to notice him. Damn good bass player though.
Yeah, he is. Well, that's I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you didn't make that one up.
No, I didn't. You asked Tony Stevens. It's 100% true.
I'll be sure to do that.
Tell you now, though, I don't play in the old rock and roll. Most of it's a little too light for me. Like I said, I prefer the death metal, like the Cannibal Corpse. I heard this band the other day. They was so nice. It just made my fiddly bits all tingly. It's called the Dying Fetus. You ever heard of them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that stuff makes me so horny.
Again, things you shouldn't be telling me.